is Michelle.
And I'm Brandy.
And welcome to CT Hope Online. We are actually going to do something really fun this morning. Brandy, when's the last time that you played a game?
It's been months,
like
honestly.
With real people?
Yeah, since COVID. I mean, it's honestly, it's probably been like a year.
Do you want to play a game?
Absolutely, I do.
All right, so first thing we have to do is we have to put these Christmas song titles in a hat. I haven't seen them. Have you seen them?
I haven't seen them.
All right, so we're gonna put them in here. We're gonna mix them up a little bit.
Here, I'll give it a shake.
All right, you shake it up.
Because you have that.
Shake it up, shake it up. Okay, so I have a playlist that was curated by the one and only Tom and Gala. It is 80s smash hits. So we will take turns listening to the music in our headphones, blasting it as loud as we can so we can't hear the other person.
Right.
And then what are you gonna be doing?
So I'm gonna be trying to have Michelle here guess what song it is, but she's not gonna be able to hear anything I say. I'm not gonna act it out because sometimes that might be too obvious, but I'm gonna try to speak it and she's gonna have to read my lips and try to figure out what song it is. So this is gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and then we'll switch off.
And then we're gonna switch.
And we don't know what's in the bag.
Not an idea. We
All
just
right.
know they're Christmas songs. That's all we know.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Let's do it.
So, do you want to go first, or do you want me to wear the headphones first?
You can wear the headphones.
All right.
We'll just run.
Let me get in place.
All right.
Get ready to jam out to this 80s music.
It's gonna be good.
All right.
Okay, I hear it. So we're good to go. Let's see. Let's take a pick. I can hear the music too. It sounds good. Okay. Oh, okay. This is a good one. All right. Okay. Grandma got run over.
Granola.
Grandma
Grandma
got run over
by
a reindeer. Yes,
Oh,
yes.
okay.
And then we'll just kind of toss that. We don't need it anymore. We don't need it. Is this the right one?
All right. I'm gonna get ready here. Let's see what I got going on.
Oh, I love this song.
Okay. Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Joy to the world.
Joy to the world.
Yeah. All right. You're awesome at this. Woohoo!
Woo.
Okay.
Oh, it's like speed round. I feel like we're gonna run out of songs.
Okay. Hold on. Let me get in place here.
I'll let you get in place. Oh, okay. Got it. Oh, okay, you can't see that good. Let it snow. Let it snow.
Laser.
Let it snow. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let it
go.
snow. Let it snow.
Let it snow. Okay.
All right, hand you this. I'll hand you this.
All right.
I feel like we need to put this.
I think Brandy's better at this than I
hang
am.
on.
All right.
Oh no, we're still playing. Okay. Oh gosh, I'm backwards.
This is a good one.
It's the same song. It's really good.
All right, Brandy, are you ready?
Okay, good.
Are you ready? Okay. Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town.
Say you.
Santa Claus is coming.
Santa.
Yeah.
Santa.
Claus.
Santa loves.
Claus.
Lost.
Santa Claus.
Santa lost.
Santa Claus.
Santa Claus.
It's coming.
Santa Claus.
It's coming. He's coming.
He's coming?
To town.
He's coming to town. Santa
Yes.
Claus is coming to town. I'll hand you this one because that way
Okay,
that way
here
it's
you
backwards.
go.
I feel like I was yelling just now.
I think I've been yelling this whole time.
Santa! I know him! Okay, so if you're just tuning in and just joining us, we're playing a fun little game. So we have headphones here that Michelle's got in. She has no idea what I'm saying right now. She can't hear me. It's an 80s smash hits playlist curated by Tom. And in here we have a bunch of Christmas songs. So we're gonna keep it rolling and just keep it moving.
I'm listening to the Chicago Bulls theme right now.
Okay. Ooh, okay. All right. I saw Mommy kissing Santa Claus.
I
saw Mommy kissing. Mommy
Bobby.
Mommy kissing.
I saw Mommy kissing.
Yes,
Santa Claus. Okay.
I feel like I'm rushing. I'm like, I gotta get the headphones in. Hang on 1 second.
Okay, I'm gonna skip that one because I don't really know most of the
I feel like I'm ready
lyrics to
for
that.
like a basketball game.
Oh, okay, I got this. You ready?
Good.
Okay. Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way.
Do you know?
Jingle bells.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. So I'm gonna hand them to you like backwards because that one goes in that ear.
Thank you.
And we're backwards.
right, I'm skipping this song because I already heard it. Oh, this is fun.
This is fun. This is festive. Fun little game we're playing here. Oh, okay, this is a hard one because I feel like I just want to sing it.
Are you saying it right now?
No. Okay, you good?
Oh, yeah.
Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Last Christmas.
That's Christmas.
Last Christmas.
That's Christmas.
Last Christmas. Last Christmas, I gave you my heart. I'm trying not to act it out because I don't want you to be able to read my emotions.
Whoa, I have no idea.
Last
Christmas.
Last Christmas. There we go. I had to just slow it down.
There's that
There
here.
we go, like
There's
this.
this here. All right. Again, if you're just joining
Eddie
us,
Murphy.
we are playing a game. So just sit tight, grab your coffee. We're gonna start in just a few minutes. All right, you ready?
Ready.
Silent night, holy night, silent.
Sky.
Silent.
Silent. Silent night?
Yeah. Sorry, I did a little bit of charades there.
Okay. Oh, I didn't know Eddie Murphy had songs. That's a
Wait,
new.
he sings? That's who this is?
That's a new discovery for me.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Well,
I'm switching
you
it.
learn something new every day.
Oh. This is great. I love this.
This is nice.
I'm in like Footloose right now.
Okay. You good?
I'm good.
Okay. Frosty the Snowman. Frosty.
Flossing.
Frosty.
Flossy.
The Snowman. The Snowman.
Strong man. It can't be a Christmas song.
That's not it. Frosty the Snowman. Frosty the Snowman.
We're throwing the snowman. Frosty the snowman.
Yes, there you go.
Okay.
Oh,
I know, right?
such a jam.
I love it. Okay. All right. Oh, are we getting to the end here?
Hang on.
Is this the last one? Or we got two more? Two more. Oh gosh. Okay. Away.
Away.
In.
Away.
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 In.
In.
In. A.
Hey.
No. A.
Hey. Hey.
Yeah. A.
Hey.
No.
Away. And hey.
Away in a manger. Away in a manger.
Away.
Away in
In. Love.
No. Away in a manger. Manger.
Badger.
Manger. Away in a manger.
Bad church.
Manger.
Picture.
Manger.
Major?
Yes.
Oh. I'm definitely
We got one more. This is our
screaming
last
all
one.
of this.
Okay.
Okay.
I gotta switch up this
All right, we're gonna
playlist.
change the song.
Oh,
So if you're just joining us,
I don't know this song, but it's very loud.
There's a few more in here. Oh, I
Easy
think-
Lover
No, that was just the one.
by Phil Collins.
Well, if you're just joining us and you've seen a little bit of what we're doing, we're picking these little songs out of a hat, Christmas songs, and Michelle has no idea what I'm saying right now. She can't hear a thing. She's listening to an 80s hits playlist. So,
I don't know this
I
song.
feel like this one's gonna be good. This is gonna be good, okay? All right, so that's the last one. So we'll put this on.
Okay.
Feliz Navidad.
Feliz Navidad!
Oh,
Woo!
we did it!
Elbow bump! Woo!
I love it.
Well, thank you guys for joining us and playing along. I hope you had as much fun as we did.
That
We
was
had a lot
super
of fun.
That was super fun. I'm blushing. I thought I was gonna be a little bit better at it, but you know what? We made it through. We made it through. We survived. Thank you for watching. If you hung out here, we hope you guys had enough time to grab your coffee and get settled in, because we're about to get started
Right now.
now.
dawn of redeeming grace. Jesus, Lord, at thy birth. Jesus, Lord, at thy birth.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Sunday morning at Hope Church. My name is Brandy.
And I am Michelle, and we are serving as your online hosts this morning.
I love it. It's so much fun to be working here with Michelle. We hope that you guys got to see the little game that we played. That was so much fun. Anyways, if you're new here, if this is your first Sunday here at Hope Church, welcome. We are just so happy that you're choosing to spend your time here with us. In order to make this the best experience that it can be, we would love it if you would engage with us. So there's a couple ways you can do that. One, you can say hi in the chat. We love to say hi in the chat. There's people in there all day, and we're all talking throughout service, and it's so much fun. How else can they engage with us, Michelle?
So we also have a few other online hosts that are there serving to make sure that this experience is the best that it can be for you today. So if you have any questions or a prayer request, you can go ahead, ask your questions in the chat. If you have a prayer request, click that prayer button and you will be put in a separate little chat window to share what your prayer request is and have someone pray alongside you. We also, if you have social media, there's a couple ways you can get engaged this morning with us. We have Facebook, of course.
We do, absolutely. Who doesn't have Facebook nowadays? We also have an Instagram account. So we would love it if you would snap a picture of you and your family worshiping with us, share it to Instagram and Facebook if you have both, and make sure that you tag us. Our Instagram is what? I think it's at cthope.church.
Yes.
At cthope.church. We would love to see how you guys are joining us today, whether you're on your couch in your jammies, you got your cup of coffee and the dog.
Yeah.
Doesn't that sound nice?
Yes.
So please share it with us, tag us. We would love to see that. And then we also, Michelle, have things for kids every single week.
Yeah.
Michelle does an amazing job setting all of that up. So Michelle, why don't you tell us a little bit about how people can find that?
All right, so if you head to cthope.com/kids, every single week you're going to find a Roots online experience. So if you follow that link, you'll find a video. It's suitable for pre-K through 5th grade, and also a parent resource guide. Now you're a parent.
I am.
Do you find it helpful to have additional resources?
Oh,
and
extremely.
tools?
Sometimes, you just sit the kids down and they kind of get what they get, but it's so nice to have a little bit extra, to go deeper. Right?
So I do encourage you guys to check that out, because if you want some discussion questions or even activity to play together as a family, we have that there for you. It's for you to use every single week that you would like to do that. Also, exciting thing for Roots today.
I'm so excited about this.
Today is a pickup day. So if you have kiddos pre-K through 5th grade, we are doing a Roots drive-in kit.
Yes.
So,
and those can be picked up between 12 and 2 today, right here at Hope Church. And Michelle, tell them what they get.
All
what
right,
do they get in this little kit?
All right, you are going to get a sweet treat. You are going to get some popcorn to watch a movie together as a family. We really just want to encourage this time to come together as a family, watch something together that you guys enjoy. I do have a couple of movie suggestions that you will find in the kit. And then also, if you've joined us in previous years for this, we do want to encourage the kids to make a box or a sled or a sleigh out of a cardboard box to sit in.
That's so fun.
I love seeing the creativity that the kids do every single year.
Oh,
and
yeah.
we don't want this year to be a year that is, well, without that. So save your boxes and get ready to get creative together.
We all know we have boxes. All those Amazon orders are coming in.
Oh, yeah.
Save them, put them aside. The kids are gonna go nuts. They absolutely love to do that. So, all right, and then what else do we have?
Well, I was gonna say, before we head back into worship, would you like to pray together?
I think that would be a great idea.
All right.
Let's go for it.
Okay, so God, welcome everyone here. Help them to feel just your presence with us today, that they would feel we're talking this week about love, and that you would just surround them with love that is not something we can quite understand. It's that unconditional love that only you have to offer us, God. I pray that you would soften people's hearts to hear today's message, and that you would comfort those that are in need during this season, that need to feel that they are not alone, that they have forever an invitation to engage in a relationship with you, God. So as we go into this worship service, help us to really connect to our song and to the words that you have to share with us today through Carrie. Amen.
Well, here we are. We are 5 days away from Christmas. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Hope Church service this morning. I am so excited for all of you who have been joining us for our Unexpected Advent series. And honestly, it has been so much fun for me, aside from just opening the bags and having my kids go through that. I know this last week they loved the sparklers. But it's been fun just to know that we're doing this as a community and to kind of feel like we're participating together. So thank you for joining us in that, and I hope it's been fun for you as well. Today is our final week, and we're going to be talking about love this week. We started with hope, and then peace, and then last week we shared about joy. And this week we're talking about love, and especially Jesus and his love for us in this season. And I have a confession to make. This week I procrastinated so hard on writing this message, and I just wanted to curl up in a ball and watch Hallmark movies with my favorite plot line, which is the fake fiance plot line. I have a whole list of those movies if you want. I wanted to do everything but writing this message, so I found myself clearing things out to take to Goodwill. I was reorganizing my dining room. Asked my husband, that never happens. I was totally distracted. But I think part of why, when I sat down to think about it, part of why I had such a hard time writing this message at first is because I felt like there was so much pressure and weight to find a creative and unique and unexpected way to discuss God's love for us, because God's love for us is so incredible and it's so beautiful. But I didn't know if there was a new way that I could share about it, something new that I could talk about. I think sometimes even we hear the phrase Jesus loves you or God loves you, and it feels routine. It starts to feel stale. And I thought, I don't know how to say that God loves us in a new and fresh way. But then I realized, God showed me really his love is always unexpected. His love is always unexpected. And so there's not really a new spin or a new twist that anyone needs to share, because that's just who he is. That's just what his love is. And so I started thinking about, for me, maybe not the most unexpected thing about God's love, but the thing for me that I most have appreciated about his love. And the fact is that it's his faithfulness. It's the fact that his love is not confined just to the Christmas story. His love is not a one-time event. It permeates into every part of my life, of our lives. And I think sometimes, Christmas and Easter, we celebrate these big moments of God's love for us. And we should, right? Because it's a reminder of God pouring out his love, sending his son to earth to live, to be with us, and then to die for us, to save us, to rescue us from our brokenness, from our sin. And those are powerful, powerful moments, and those are life-changing moments. But at the same time, God's love is not just a one-time gesture. It goes beyond that. I asked several people on Facebook this week to share maybe a memorable movie for you that includes somebody who has this big gesture of love. So it's some moment, whether it's romantic or whether it's friendship, but where they just have this big gesture of love. And if you weren't able to answer online, I would challenge you, just take a minute here, think about a movie, think about something you've watched or a show that has a big gesture of love. And then as you're thinking about that, I'll read off some of what I got from people online. Maybe yours will match up, we'll see. So I had a couple people shared a scene from 10 Things I Hate About You, especially the scene where Heath Ledger sings to Julia Stiles. The movie Love Actually, we had a couple scenes from there. One was where the guy holds up a sign and he makes a video telling the girl what he thinks about her. And then the other guy that learns Portuguese so he can propose to the woman that he loves. Someone said the movie Frozen, when Anna saves her sister, an act of true love. I got The Notebook, thank you, Des. Michelle gave me a scene from Garden State, which was the girl saves the guy's tears because he's been having a hard time crying and she knows that's really important to him. Someone, I'm not going to mention names, but Steve Nalbandian said something from Dumb and Dumber. I don't know what that's about. I got a scene from Moonstruck. My mom said, the scene in The Office where Jim proposes to Pam, and someone threw out Friends when Monica and Chandler sort of proposed to each other. But the idea is that we can think of all these movies, all these moments where people have this big gesture of love. And it's kind of warm and fuzzy, and it's heartfelt, and we love those moments. But what would happen if that was the end? What would happen if that big gesture of love was the only love that person ever showed? I think we even have seen people proposing, and you see these crazy videos sometimes of, it's like this guy who gets this flash mob choreography, and then there's singing, and then there's fireworks, and then he takes her up in a helicopter, and they look over this field of lavender that's been cut to spell out, "Will you marry me?" And then suddenly from out of above, this poodle comes parachuting down with the wedding ring, and she says yes. And like we watch movies, or we watch even clips of people in real life who do this. But what would happen if someone proposed that way and then just stopped showing love? Just said, "Oh, well, I guess that was enough love to show for a lifetime, so I don't really have to do anything else to show my love." And can you imagine if that person's wife, or person's husband said, "Well, do you still love me?" And the person who proposed said, "Well, yeah, don't you remember that a massive proposal? Of course I love you." And yet I think we do that sometimes with God. We sort of think, "Oh, well, God gave us this giant moment that showed us how much he loved us," but we aren't really sure if that love carries over, if that love will meet us right where we are today. In fact, I think sometimes, over the Christmas season especially, we hear this phrase, "Let's keep Christ in Christmas." And I think sometimes we sort of use it now in almost an angry and hostile way, like we're mad at everyone for not keeping Christ in Christmas. But I understand why we say it, because we do want to keep Jesus as the reason for this season. We want to remember, and rightly so, that Jesus is the crux of what this season and our lives are about. And yet I would challenge you this. We want to keep Christ in Christmas, but let's not keep him stuck there. Let's not leave Christ in Christmas. Let's make sure we carry him and his love with us through the rest of the year and the rest of the season. And, the message of Christ at Christmas certainly is this crescendo of God's love for us. And it's a beautiful, it is the reason that we can live and be with God and approach him with freedom and confidence because of what Christ did coming to earth and dying for us. But his love goes far beyond that. So I just want to talk today from a passage that's actually not part of the normal Christmas story passage that we read. We've been looking at a lot of verses from Luke 1 and 2, but I wanted to share something a little different with you today. So we're going to be in 1 John 4, 7 through 16, and it says this, "Dear friends, let us love one another, for love comes from God. Everyone who loves God has been born of God and knows God. Whoever does not love does not know God, because God is love. This is how God showed his love among us. He sent his one and only Son into the world that we might live through him. This is love, not that we loved God, but that he loved us and sent his Son as an atoning sacrifice for our sins. Dear friends, since God so loved us, we also ought to love one another. No one has ever seen God. But if we love one another, God lives in us, and his love is made complete in us. This is how we know that we live in him and he in us. He has given us of his Spirit, and we have seen and testified that the Father has sent his Son to be the Savior of the world. If anyone acknowledges that Jesus is the Son of God, God lives in them, and they in God. And so we know and rely on the love God has for us. God is love. Whoever lives in love lives in God, and God in them." And I love this verse. I feel like it shares, first of all, it acknowledges, it does highlight God's incredible sacrifice, his incredible gift of love, sending his Son as an atoning sacrifice for us. But what I love about this passage also is that it talks about that God is love, that he physically cannot be anything other than love, because that is his nature, that is his character, and his character does not change. And in fact, Jesus shares another place in the Bible, it talks about, God talking about the love that he had within himself before the beginning of creation. And it's kind of mind-boggling to think about this, but Jesus and God and the Holy Spirit all in one Trinity, that they gave and expressed love within themselves long before the world was ever made. Love is not a new thing. Love is not something that happens outside of God, because that is who he is. He created out of love. And it's also a reminder that God's love did not begin in the cradle, and it did not end on the cross. His love has been faithful and constant, and we see pictures of his love for us throughout the whole Bible. In fact, I was looking through different parts in the Bible, and I looked in the Psalms, and the phrase "God's love endures forever" shows up at least, I believe, 36 times just in the Psalms. And also in the Psalms, it talks about God's faithfulness. It talks about his unfailing love up to 33 times. And that's amazing. Just a reminder of his unfailing, never-ending love for us. In fact, if we look through the history of the Bible, we see different pictures, different stories that are symbolic of God's love for us. Even God's relationship with the Israelites, his covenant with them, was a picture of his love and his faithfulness. And there's another story in the Bible about the prophet Hosea, who was asked God told him to go and marry an unfaithful woman. And so he marries this unfaithful woman, and she keeps cheating on him and going off and running away. And every time she does, he brings her back, and he still loves her, and he still takes her in. And God uses that example again as a picture of his incredible love and faithfulness to us, even when we mess up, even when we screw up. We may change, we may fail, we may be broken, but God's love never changes. It's there for the daily, in the big moments, and in the everyday moments. And God's love continues to meet us exactly where we are today. And which is important because I think sometimes, the Christmas season comes to an end and we pack the lights away, and if you're like me, your Christmas tree gets so dry and dead that it's a massive fire hazard, and so we have to take it down. And the Christmas music stops, and we feel like as everything fades from the season, we start to wonder if the Jesus from Christmas is able to still meet us where we are today. Can Christmas Jesus still love us in the middle of our mess and our everyday moments? I think especially now during COVID, so many of us, myself included, have been struggling during this pandemic. There's, mental health and depression, and all these things are just increasing. And for parents, for people working at home, whoever, it's been difficult. We're forced to live in tight quarters with people, and we're definitely, I know for myself, I've had these moments of just feeling angrier than I wanted to be with my kids and or with my spouse, and then we've also sort of been coping, right? We all have been coping in different ways, and sometimes we don't do that in the healthiest ways, myself included. And if you're like me, sometimes when we have this buildup of feeling depressed or feeling angry or feeling like we've failed everyone or feeling like we keep falling into bad habits, and there's this feeling of guilt that comes with that sometimes, and there's this sense that, I don't think that God could meet me where I am right now. I don't know that God's love will meet me here until I clean myself up, until I kind of get myself back on track. And I just want to say that is not true. God's love meets us just as Jesus came to earth to be with us in the flesh. His love continues to meet us exactly where we are. And I don't want to say that God doesn't care about our hearts. Yes, he wants all of us. Yes, he doesn't want our leftovers. He wants us to fully follow him. And yes, he wants us to live healthy lives, healthy, full lives in his way. But that doesn't mean that when we screw up, he's not there. It doesn't mean that when we screw up, that he's not with us. He's always there. And if you are someone even today who feels like you aren't sure if you have faith in God, maybe you don't know if you believe in him, maybe you aren't sure you've ever accepted his love for you that changes you, that can save you. If that is you, I just want to encourage you. It doesn't, I think the same thing is true with talking to God. Sometimes we feel like we have to respond to him with a big gesture, with some perfect prayer, with some, massive, burning bush moment that we have to just check off everything and make sure that we're following God right before he's going to accept us. And I really believe that God will take your tiny mustard seed faith. He will take you right where you're at. And maybe for you, your prayer of faith is just to say, okay, God, I want to believe you more. Please show up in my life. I want to give you my heart. I want to have your love in my life, but I need help. Please help me. Please show up. And it's as simple, I think, as acknowledging God and then asking him to help us. It's daily surrendering to him, and God will take you right where you're at, and he will grow you. That's the beautiful thing. We never get to a point where we outgrow God. We never get to a point where we don't need him anymore. And so he sees you and he loves you just as you are today and the next day and the next, because his love for us is daily. It's in the laundry and the hiding in the bathroom from our children and the commute to work or the not commute to work right now. God's love for us is in all those daily moments. And I think because of that, sometimes we look for God in the big moments, and maybe it's why we're so attracted to these big seasons like Easter and Christmas, because it's like, oh, this huge expression of God's love. But sometimes we can miss that God's love in daily moments. My friend Brant reminded me of the story of Elijah from 1 Kings 19. And the prophet, was going through a period of depression, and he wandered in the wilderness and was trying to just have a moment with God. And so he's waiting for God to show up. And the Bible says that first there was this earthquake, and there was a fire, and all these big moments that you'd think, okay, that's where God's going to show up. But God didn't show up in those things. The Bible says that then there was a whisper, and that's where Elijah experienced God, was in this whisper, and he heard God's voice. And I think the same is true for us. Sometimes I just look around at the simplicity of the beauty of nature, of the way my kid smiles, of just little daily prayers and moments I have with God throughout the day that remind me that he loves me, that he sustains me, that he's with me. It's not always the big gestures. And I think as we ponder God's love for us in that way, God's daily love for us, it leads us to an action, or it should lead us to an action. And so I just want to challenge us that even as we experience God's daily love for us, God is calling us to show daily love for other people. Again, I think, for me, I've had so many times where my friends have shown me big gestures of love. I've had, my friends have thrown me murder mystery birthday parties and, friends nights where we all dress up, and they've done some incredible things for me. But the reason that I know my friends love me, it usually isn't the flashy things. It's the daily things. It's the weekly texts, the checking in, the letting me vent. It's the random get-togethers or Zoom calls right now, just to check in, just to talk. It's those moments where I have completely failed or completely let someone down or made a mistake, and they show me grace. Those are the reasons. Those are the things that make me know that my friends love me. It's the daily love. It's the daily little moments that add up, that reveal their faithfulness to me as friends. And I think similarly in this season, we are prone to be bold and generous in love in this season, right? We're all kind of looking for ways that we can reach out to someone or give to a charity. And those are amazing things, and those are really good things. I don't want to minimize that. But I think sometimes it's easy for us to get caught up in those things and forget that we need to sustain the daily love throughout our lives. And I think this starts in one way with, it's easy for us to have these big moments of love, but then turn around and be divisive with one another. We can go and donate a ton of money to a charity, and then at the next moment we're being rude to someone in the Starbucks line, or we're not paying attention to someone who needs encouragement. And I think especially Dan talked about post-Christian world that we live in. I think a lot of times we're gonna butt heads more and more with the world, and I realize that as we do that, we can keep fighting for the big things that feel so important to us. We can keep fighting for people to see things our way, but maybe we're missing the point. And again, maybe we should be less concerned with whether people are all keeping Christ in Christmas with us, and more concerned with whether they see Christ in us. And maybe we should be less concerned whether the larger culture is embracing all of the values that we want them to, and more concerned with whether the love of Christ in us is influencing our culture, with whether the culture is experiencing God's love through us. What would that look like? How would that change? And in order to remain in God's love, in order to live these daily moments of love, God doesn't tell us to strive, to work harder, to be better, to grit our teeth and, show up every week to church. No, God's instruction for us to be people of love is very simple. And John 15:5-12 talks about this. It says, "As the Father has loved me, so I have loved you. Now remain in my love." That's the key word, the key phrase there, remain in my love. Verse 10 says, "If you keep my commands, you will remain in my love, just as I have kept my Father's commands and remain in his love. I have told you this so that my joy may be in you and your joy may be complete. My command is this: love each other as I have loved you." And it's this reminder that God's love isn't something we strive for. It's something that we get from remaining in him, from embracing his love for us. And it reminds me too that God's love is faithful. God's love is not going anywhere. We're the ones that are prone to wander. We're the ones that are prone to get distracted. We're the ones who are prone to try to live as Christians without Christ. I wish I could say I'm not guilty of that, but I am. There's times where I'm just like trying to do the good Christian thing and I'm not being with God. I'm not asking God for his help. I'm not living out of the love that he gives me. I'm not remaining in him. And so I would just challenge us, what does it mean for you this week to just remain in God's love? To turn off a distraction, to just rest with him, to sit and actually contemplate his love for you, his daily love, to notice those things maybe even make a list of the daily love that you see God doing in your life. So it's time for our last Advent bag together. This is week 4, so it will say love on it. And inside, we have a few things. We have, first of all, a card that says on one side, "You are loved," and on the other side, it says, "Love each other." And the "You are loved" side, this is sort of an interesting challenge, and it might be uncomfortable for some people if you haven't tried this before, but I really hope you will try this because I did this experiment, or exercise, I should say, several years ago for the first time, and it changed the way that I understand God. That changed the way that I see how he responds to me. And so the idea is that you get to write a letter to yourself as though God were writing it to you. A letter that says how much God loves you and what he thinks about you. And so it's just taking a moment this week to sit down and say, "God, what do you think about me? Tell me your thoughts towards me." And I promise you, God is not condemning. The voice that he speaks with is not a condemning or judgmental voice. And so I would just encourage you to sit down and ask God what he thinks of you and to show him that. And if you don't know where to start, or if you don't even feel entirely comfortable coming up with this all on your own, there are verses here, and all these verses talk about God's love for you. And maybe this week, instead of writing a letter, you just pick one of these verses and write it out for yourself as a reminder to you to stick somewhere to remember what God thinks of you and how much he loves you. So I would challenge you to do that. And if you're doing this with kids, a really fun, simple way to have them participate is to ask them to draw a picture of what they think God thinks of them. Draw a picture of God's love. Audrey Blackwell was someone who originally told me this idea. She did that with her daughter. And she said it was surprising how, just to see how God spoke to her child. And I think it helps our kids too to start to understand that God wants to interact with them. And it's just a fun way. It might surprise you what they come up with. So that's something you can do with them. And the other side says, "Love each other." And you're going to notice in this bag a couple things here. First of all, there's this beautiful magnet. And if you want, you can hang your child's artwork in the fridge, whatever you want to do. But this magnet is also just a reminder of God's steadfast love for you. That the magnet holds on tight. It's not going to let go. That's a picture of God's love for you. But you'll notice also in the bag, you got a couple of random colored cards. And these are meant for you to send to somebody else, for you to maybe share. Again, maybe you ask God this week, who is someone that maybe needs a little encouragement? Who is someone that maybe I've been in a disagreement with, that I just need to clear the air with and reach out to them? Maybe you're not a letter person. Maybe it's just a text or a message on Facebook or whatever that looks like for you. But just as a reminder that just as God loves us with a lavish love, but also a daily love, we are meant to show that daily love to others as well. And what does that look like? So I hope that that is an impactful exercise for you this week. And I just, as we wrap up, just want to remember that Jesus does love us so much, and he loved us in this huge gesture as a baby. But that baby, Jesus, it wasn't just a gesture, it's a promise. And it's a promise to love you every single day. Thank you so much for being with us for this series. Again, I hope that it has been impactful for you as much as I've enjoyed it. And this coming week, next week, we're not going to have a live service like usual. We are actually going to be posting a pre-recorded video, which will be available hopefully in the next couple of days on our website. And our idea with this is that everyone celebrates Christmas at different times in different ways, whether that's with family or it looks different for different people. So we're hoping that this gives you an opportunity to watch just a brief Christmas message at a time that works for you, at a time that works for your family, and that can just be a really special moment for you. So again, no live service next week, but we will have that message recorded so you can watch it whenever. Thank you so much for joining. I'm going to pray, and I will see you guys later. God, thank you so much for your vast and incredible love for us. Thank you that your love is never ending, that it's unfailing, that it's unchanging. And God, I just pray for everyone listening that if there are those who don't know you, that don't have your love or don't feel your love yet, God, that you would show up for them, not just in the big moments, but in the daily moments, that they would sense you. And I ask, God, that as we embrace your love, as we remain in your love, that you would show us how to turn around and be love to other people. We love you, God. Amen.
Hey, well, thank you again for joining us this morning, and thank you for hosting with me, Brandy.
Yes.
It's been so
fun.
If you guys have enjoyed what you've heard, you want to share it with your family or your friends, how can they do that, Brandy?
You can do that a couple of ways. You can share it right on Facebook.
Mm-hmm. We also
good
have
old trusty
Vimeo.
Facebook, Vimeo, or YouTube. You can share it. You can even just rewatch it again if you're feeling it. I know I like to do that sometimes. Some weeks I just really like the message and need to hear it again later on. Another thing, if you call Hope Church your church, which we do, we would love it if you would consider giving today, and you can do that a couple of ways. First, you can text it to 84321. Always want to make sure I don't rush that. You can text your gift. Again, that's 84321. Or you can go to our website, and what is it? cthope.online/give.
Or there's even a link on this page. Wanted to remind you guys, we also have prayer right now or tomorrow at 6:30. Look for the Zoom link for that. And also, we want to remind you again, Roots Drive-In, pick up your kits right now, 12 to 2 p.m.
Come on down.
And next week, so we got to talk about next week.
Yes.
Next week looks a little bit different.
Just a little bit.
Why does next week look different?
So for next week, we're not going to be here in the way that we're here right now. But starting Tuesday, we're going to have a Christmas experience, if you will, that will be live. You can just go straight to our website. It won't be on YouTube live streaming as this is. So go to our website.
Just head to cthope.com. Click on it, watch it with your family, watch it, send it to your friends, whenever is convenient for you guys. So you choose. It's just going to be a way for you guys to really get into the spirit of Christmas. So we hope that you'll look for that. Tuesday, start looking for it. And so then the next time we're actually meeting,
It's 2021.
it will be 2021. We are closing the door.
We're
in
closing
2020.
it. Get out.
Goodbye.
We're done.
Goodbye.
We're done.
So we want to, in that case, we're not going to see you guys until next year.
Yeah.
So Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
And we'll see you in 2021.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.